Welcome to another Game8 Demo Showcase. It's me again, Hex, and we've got 3 games we think you guys ought to try. Let's get to them. Heart Dungeon is another title added to the ever-growing list of 2D roguelikes, or as the devs would like to describe it, 2.5D. As Leo, you play a game within a game, exploring mysterious lands and, of course, slaying monsters. The world built reminds me of the PS1 Hercules game I used to play when I was a kid. The animation was fluid, and the enemies looked very expressive up close. During my playthrough, the controls were smooth enough that I could attack enemies and dodge their attacks with ease. I just wish the attacks had more weight to them like in Hades. Each weapon Zagreus wields feels different, and although there's no weapon variety in Heart Dungeon yet, the combat would feel a lot better if every hit is felt on impact. It follows a straightforward roguelike formula. Clear an area full of enemies, get new passives, and then move on to the next. While I enjoyed the fluidity of the animation and controls, AI posed no challenge. Every encounter felt like I was cutting through paper. That said, developer Sandplus Game Studio put up a disclaimer that it is in early development. And while I didn't experience any bugs while playing, they still have some areas that need to be tweaked, particularly the game's AI. Despite its glaring flaws, I feel Heart Dungeon's potential to be a fun game with just a short demo, and it can earn a spot in the catalog for roguelikes. AI Limit is a game that scratches that Dark Souls itch, so it's a very familiar experience but also quite refined. Dodging feels smooth and responsive, and the enemies are challenging enough without getting into BS territory. And weapons have the proper weight to them that adds to the intensity of combat. The sync rate mechanic is a nice feature that encourages skillful play. It's a meter that increases attack damage the higher it goes, which is filled by successful attacks and drained if hit by an enemy. There's also a nice dynamic when it comes to blocking. Using your shield will use up the sync rate meter and will be less effective if it gets overloaded with energy gained from blocking. What's cool is that you can use that accumulated energy to initiate a powerful blast. So, the game ends up having this nice back and forth between offense and defense by backing it up with mechanics that discourage turtling as seen in other Souls-likes. There's a lot of competition in this market, and we honestly didn't have high expectations for something like this. We're happy to be wrong about AI Limit, as it nails the core mechanics down to a T. Highly recommend this game if you want a balanced take on Souls-likes. VA Proxy got a lot of attention last year when it showed footage of being able to literally parry a nuclear explosion. It's a game that has become the embodiment of parry everything, and the demo makes you believe it. And with a 0.3 demo update, now is the best time to get into the action. VA Proxy is an open-world hack-and-slash game set in a sprawling megastructure. While Nier Automata will often come to mind, exploration gives off a sense of scale one rarely seen in action games dedicated to deep hack-and-slash combat. Think of the scale of Xenoblade, but with an action game's dash-bam traversal mechanics. The world doesn't default to empty desolation either, since there are signs of robotic life all around you. Groups of mechanical NPCs can be easily encountered in the vast plains, and huge towering entities are often seen moving in the distance. It is an ambitious game, and we haven't even gotten started on the combat. The game's selling point is its insane combat that may or may not be inspired by DMC and Platinum Games, and offers incredible verticality on top of its emphasis on parrying. The 0.3 update has improved its air control and mobility, and demo bosses have been reworked to handle these changes, creating an aerial melee combat experience. Whether you're fighting in the ground or flying about, parries play an integral part in the combat system, as it is also your source of healing. The timing is forgiving, so you don't have to be intimidated by the idea of pulling it off, but you need to keep alert since it will function as your primary defensive tool. The 0.3 update also adds a spear, a scythe, and a grappling hook to really spice up the combat, among many other awesome mechanics. If Pyrolith continues to improve the game like this, VA Proxy will be a sure buy for me. Those are some awesome titles, don't you think? If you want to check these games out on Steam, you can find the links in the description. And as usual, if you want more demo showcases, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. See you in the next one!